Money. It affects our everyday life. But how do we make more of it? Manage it. And make sure we make the most of our money. Welcome to Money Mindful, a podcast to teach and support you as you learn to manage your money.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 19 of the Money Mindful podcast. How are you today? It is great to be here with you in your ears, wherever you are listening. Are you on the train? Are you doing the school drop-off? I'm actually in my home office. It's nearly 9:30 at night and I've been waiting for my children to go to sleep so I can record this without them in the background. Oh, family life. This is the real deal, isn't it? Okay, book club. Hey, you guys enjoying Spenditude? Did you know that I have Paul and Janine on the podcast next week? So cool. Can't wait for that. I'm so interested to know how you're enjoying the book. And if you're listening and you're thinking, what is Meaghan talking about? We are doing a book club here on Money Mindful and we are reading Spenditude this month. It's not too late to get on board. You can go to the website and just click on the book club link and it'll tell you all the details about what book we're reading, where to get it. And if you're interested in being part of book club and just keeping up to date with what's happening, sign up to the Money Mindful Ladies newsletter. You can do that on the website, or if you're following me on Instagram, you can just hit the link in the bio. You can also hit one of the buttons on the Facebook page. It's very easy to do. So get on into the newsletter and make sure you stay up to date with everything that's happening with book club and everything that's happening with Money Mindful. All right, let's get into the show today. We have a really special guest on today. Her name is Lily Hii and she is a money strategist from Bookkeeping by Lily. And before I cue the interview, I want to encourage you to listen to Lily's story and, for that matter, all the women who come on this show. And I really strongly encourage you to take away one thing. So record one thing that you learned today and then apply it. And if you get a good result, share it with your girlfriend or your daughter or your mum. Because, of course, it's great listening to podcasts about money or reading a book about money or whatever subject matter it is that you're interested in. But the next step, and the really important step, is actually apply what you learn. I mean, this is what book club is all about as well. Like reading, finding out new information, but then we're going to look at how we can actually apply it in our lives. So, like I said, listen to what Lily says today and take one thing away and try it. Because this is how we move forward, ladies. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to cue the interview. Okay, so hello, Lily, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. I am really excited to have you on today. And it's so fantastic how you can just meet somebody over the internet on Instagram, of all places, and then a few weeks later, here we are talking on the podcast about money. Welcome.
I know, it's so amazing. I'm always intrigued how this social media works, how we can connect with people around the world and sharing the same value. And we literally just met on Instagram and we just message each other to introduce, and then we just hit off because I think we have the same value same kind of interest and stuff like that. And I'm so excited to come on here and have a chat with you.
Ah, so good. All right. Well, can we start with a little bit about your story, Lily? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
So I'm a bookkeeper and a money strategist. So I started off my business about 4.5 years ago without any plan, and I just quit my job because I crave the flexibility. I crave the passion. I crave the connection. Because when I was in full time or part time job, I just felt that something is missing, and it's just not. I don't feel fulfilled or satisfied, and I always carried that kind of mum guilt of when my kids are sick, I can't take days off. If I take days off, then I have that kind of guilt that I have to go back and do extra to please my employer. Yeah, so my friend actually approached to me, asking me if I want to help her in terms of setting up her business, in the finance side. And I was like, yep, why not? Because, I love helping as well. And because she's my friend, and I just, there's no way that I'm going to say no. And since then, I was like, oh my goodness, if I can do this, I can help so many other people in setting up their business, in understanding the numbers and stuff like that. A few weeks later, I went in, resigned without any plan B, without knowing where to get my first client, without knowing what a business owner is looking like. So, but I just need to follow my intuition, follow my passion, because I was very, very, you can say, depressed and miserable because of the job and not being able to, give my full attention to my kids. Yeah, so that's how I
I,
start my business.
I think that is so amazing how I mean, this might sound a bit woo woo, and but I feel like sometimes when we open ourselves up to new possibilities and start looking, opportunities come to us. It's quite remarkable, that you were just saying that you felt like something was missing and you wanted more, and then out of the blue, your friend comes to you to ask for help, and the next thing is you're suddenly starting your own business.
I know it was so amazing, and it was really scary to start because I've got no plan of what, why, and how, but I just know that I have to start somewhere because of the kids, the family, and I think that's my motivation. Even though there's fear involved and like outside my comfort zone, I just know that I have to do this to make it better because I believe that to fulfill everything in my family, I myself need to be happy.
That's right. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you help women with their money and what a money strategist is?
So a money strategist is basically, well, for me, is basically, helping business owner or, anyone in understanding where their money is and how to deal with their money and the strategy behind it. I fully, fully believe that without a proper mindset, however good, however awesome your strategy is, it's not going to cut it because I place strategy at the back. So how I tackle, a lot of people, how to manage their money is through their mindset first, like really digging in, where this is coming from and why this is happening to them, and, help them to feel comfortable around just by talking about money, be open about it. And yeah, and things will come along and positive things will flow through them. And by having that plus a strategy, that I think that's 100%, work. That 100% work for me. And I know that it works for people because, I've tried that with my clients and, my bookkeeping clients as well back then. and my new clients.
That's right. Well, you don't have to convince me about mindset. I totally agree. That's the first thing that you need to change. And when you were talking, what I thought about was, do you notice any common themes with the women that you work with in terms of obstacles that they encounter, or common things that you help women overcome with their money?
So the very, very common thing is, but there's a few common things. It's either they don't know what they're doing, they don't know where they're spending it, and they are very scary. Money is scary to them. Like, because of the scary term, they wouldn't even try to go near anything to do with money. So how I, approach them is to just let them know that money is not a scary thing. To have a goal that they want to achieve, they really need to be comfortable in opening up and knowing what money can do to them and where they are sitting in terms of knowing it. Because without knowing the root of, why they're not comfortable with the money, you can't really fix any problem, and you can't really, I can't really fix their problem without knowing what's happening. It might be like, when they're 3 or 4 years old, things happen back then, or, it might be something that they've been taught at school, or been told that, money can't grow on tree or something, from their parents. All sorts of factors that we need to go, like deep dive in and just communicate openly.
And how do we access that, Lily? How do we find out what it is that's holding us back with money when we're first starting out and we know that we've got some sort of money block and we want to move forward, but we're just not really sure what direction to take?
Just ask yourself a question. You have to face it first, even though it's very, very scary. You just have to, put that scary and throw it to the bin and face it. Because I can 110% assure you that once you face it, a lot of things will come out left, right, and center. And there's a lot of resources out there as well that, it can help you in terms of opening up, in terms of how to tackle your, the money problem, blockage, and stuff like that. And the main thing that I do for women is to provide them these kind of resources, by allowing them to talk to me openly and find out exactly what happened. Because I truly believe that, by talking to yourself, because everything starts from yourself, right? You are your own blockage. Talk to yourself, ask yourself why, how, and where, and everything will flow in.
And I noticed that on your website you have an abundance journal. Is that something that women can use to get started, or is that part of your process when they're working with you?
That's a free template on my website, and that's part of the process. That's how we start by, like journaling, because, by journaling, a lot of things will come out. But with the journaling, it's the same thing. Like, you ask yourself question. The first thing that comes out your mind, that's the true answer. And by journaling, everything comes clear. So, it's the time that you need to spend with yourself without any distraction. And that would be where the answer is.
Ah, that's so cool. So that's actually something that's available to anyone on your website?
Yes, it's free downloadable spreadsheet. You can use it anytime. It's a simple, simple questions where you can, it's like a prompt where you can, have a nice coffee early in the morning, no distraction, no kids, no husband, put on, put on your nice music, or, hard rock music, whatever that you're comfortable with, and you sit down and journal it. You don't have to go through it, the whole thing at once, just one by one, step by step. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'll make sure that I'll put a link in the show notes, and perhaps towards the end of the show, you can make sure you give us all your details, how we can find you. So, Lily, I just wanted to move into talking more about you as a woman and how you manage your money personally yourself in your own life. Like what sort of things do you do to create more abundance in your life and have that flow happening for yourself?
So for myself, I truly believe, there's four main important things that I guess I live by to create more wealth or more money flow into my life. So that four thing would be knowledge, mindset, goals, and love and happiness. So
Wow.
why knowledge is because we've got to understand where everything is, what is happening, and why we are having what we are having. So without knowing, it's basically knowing the root of the problem. So once you know the problem, then you rewire your mindset to have that kind of positive energy, positive thinking flowing through. A lot to do with mindset. Mindset is, I think, one of the important key in creating money flow, because without the right mindset, um, everything can go haywire, right? Because you be having this kind of fear blockage, and whatever thing that's come your way, you're just gonna block it. You're not gonna think about it, right? So with
Yeah.
goals is very important as well, because without having that goal in your mind, you don't know what you're working towards too, right? Having a goal is so important. It's as little, it doesn't matter if it's, a small goal, but as long as you have that in your journey, then you would know, you can see it happening, right? And you can plan it so that you can achieve that goal. And the last thing is, obviously love and happiness, because, without doing something that you are passionate about and happy, it's not gonna fill your cup, right? Because a lot of people think wealth is connecting with money, right? But
Mm.
wealth can be your happiness. Wealth can be, doing the things that you wish for. I think with all that four main, pillars, if you practice it every single day, money will just flow in, automatically. And it happens to me. So I'm a good example.
Right. So let me just get that clear. So we start with getting knowledge or awareness about ourself and where we're at. Is that
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And then we work on our mindset.
hmm
And is that where we look at changing our mindset, or just being conscious of the mindset that we've got?
Both, because you need to know
Both.
where you are at now. If it's not going the right direction, then we need to work on that to, transform to a positive mindset so that you can move forward.
And then make some goals. I love that one. I'm a big goal setter, and I'm so pro setting goals. But I also like how you've added that fourth one in of love and happiness, because I agree that there's an element of being at peace and having gratitude for what we have already. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah, I 100% agree, because from my own experience, I've gone through doing something that I don't love, doing something that I only please other people, and that just doesn't fill my cup at all. And it turns the other way around. It makes me feel depressed. It makes me feel like a fraud, if you know what I mean, because I'm not
Yeah.
showing the true self. And it definitely shows. And I don't want to have this kind of role model for my kids, because I always tell my kids that you always have to do something out of love. If you do something out of love, good things will come. Like it's so true. When you do things out of love, the things that you wish for, that you want in your life, it will come to you.
I really like that. And what I wanted to circle back to what you mentioned at the start when you decided to go out into business for yourself is that on the podcast, I've talked about different ways of creating financial security for yourself through investments such as property investments or share investments. And one of the things that I haven't touched on yet, but I'm going to and I want to, is about there's another way of earning income, and that's actually by being in business for yourself. And I think starting out and going into business for yourself can be a massive step for somebody, but it's definitely a way to generate income where you're not trading hours for money. And I'd love it if you could talk to us a little bit more about your mindset when you started the business and how you really got into creating a business for yourself and being in that space of that you're now a businesswoman, and that's how you earn your income, not from a salary. And I just think it would be great to hear your perspective on how you moved from being from salary mindset that somebody else pays you to being in that domain of that you create now this money for yourself.
That's such a great question to share or answer to share with everyone. So basically, when I started my business, like I said before, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. I have no idea where to start. And I remember when I was talking to you before, because of my husband's job, I'm the only one that's at home looking after the kids without communicating with anyone, because I can't go out. I can't go out and network. All I think about is how to solve my client's problem, how to make them happy, right? And at the start of the business, I wasn't that 100% in the business, so to speak, because I was still having what you call the employee mindset. So basically, right, wanting to fulfill other people's need, trying to make other people's happy, and not knowing and not don't even aware that I myself need to be happy as well. So about 2 years ago, we moved from Sydney to Melbourne, and that's when, everything changed. Everything changed because I found out that, I can take my business to digital world, doing things remotely. And then I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? This is like the whole new thing to me. And I started to do a lot of research. I started to, talk to other people. And because of the change of work for my partner, I then have more time to do whatever that I want, more time to think about what I want, what makes me happy. And I digged into, a lot of self-development, personal growth, and really think about what I really want for my business. What am I doing here? What do I want to grow, going forward? So I started networking, and that's a totally different world to me. I felt so out of place because when you go networking, it's kind of scary because you don't know anyone there, right? So you basically just stood there and not knowing what to do, what to say, and where to put your hand and stuff like that. So, and because I'm introvert as well, yeah, I just don't know what to do. But that's the thing, the scarier it is, the more that I want to push myself to do, because I think that's how you grow, and that's how I grow. I do things, outside the comfort zone. I do things that I put it out there in the universe on my social media, and because I know by putting it out there, I will do it, even though I'm so scared. So yeah, that's, I think my tip is, for whoever that's starting out, just love yourself, do the things that you love and passionate about, and set yourself up so that you are constantly doing things outside your comfort zone.
Oh, I love that so much. And the other thing that just makes me laugh about what you've said there is that you moved from Sydney to Melbourne and then all these new things opened up for you because you stepped outside of your comfort zone. And then
Yes.
here I am. I've just moved from Melbourne to near Sydney. And I'm thinking, right, so what we're telling you is that if you want to start a business, just move interstate. And that's how you do it, because you
Yeah, that's
have
how
to
I
get
did
out of
it.
your comfort zone.
Because without, for me, it's true, because without that move, I would still stuck in that working mode, that employee working mode, like trying to keep other people happy. But I think that move just, yeah, that move gave me a lot of opportunity, gave me a clear, like a light bulb moment, saying, I can absolutely do this, and just go for it.
That's right. And I think for the women listening today, what you can take away from that as well is, okay, so you don't have to move interstate to make financial
No.
change, although it does help. That you can take small steps, but I think the key is, you hit the nail on the head. It's stepping outside of your comfort zone. If you've never invested in shares and that's something that you want to get into, you're not going to straight away know how to do
Mm.
it or what to do. You need to at first look at where you're at, like you said, and gain awareness, look at your mindset, and then
Mm.
start setting some goals and taking action towards that, and creating from that space of love and happiness. I mean, who doesn't want to have a secure income so they can be supporting their family? I know I certainly want that
Mm.
in my life.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. Like, because my client base, they all basically, focus in women, and I see a lot of example that women are just so scared, or they don't want to go near, the money management, the finance. They just put it in a too hard basket where they're piling it up, and at the end of the day, it's gonna overflow. It's gonna overflow, and it's gonna make them feel miserable, like unhappy.
Mm. So, Lily, just before as we're heading towards wrapping up now, is there anything that you would like to add that you think would be of value to our listeners? Just any advice on, if you're getting started with managing your money, what's one little step or one little tip that we can do?
I always tell people to follow these simple, practical tips, which are, you just gotta track what it is going on. You have to track what goes in and out of your, the normal expenses and income in your household or in your business. And then from then you can plan budget, what I call fitness plan for your moolah. I always
Yes.
love calling that, because I'm a gym addict as well, so I love a fitness plan. So you need to have a plan. That's all I can say. And the third being, you gotta prioritize what is important to you. For example, if your goal is, saving up for a holiday or pay off your mortgage, you gotta prioritize the money to go into that goal first, without any excuses. That's the first thing that you're gonna do, right? And finally, to stick to it. Stick to what
Right.
your plan is.
Persistence. Yes. I like
Mhm.
that. I like that. Well, thank you very much for being with us today, Lily. But before I let you go, tell our listeners, where can we find you and where can we get that abundance journal?
So you can find me on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram, stories more often. And I'm on LinkedIn as well, Bookkeeping by Lily. I've got a Facebook page called Bookkeeping by Lily as well. With the Abundance Journal, it's on my website. So it's www.bookkeepingbylily.com.au.
Fantastic. And I'll make sure to include links to that in the show notes. Well, Lily, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you. Well, there you have it. Lily Hii. What was your one takeaway you got from what Lily said? Did you write something down? Mine was her 4 pillars of wealth. So the knowledge, mindset, goals, and then love and happiness. I really liked hearing that perspective from her. So if you want to hear more from Lily, I'm going to link in the show notes all the places that you can find her. She's on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, her website, and she is also just launching a 6-week money program with coaching. It sounds amazing. And if you want to find out more, definitely go and check Lily out. All right, have a beautiful week. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Money Mindful podcast. For more info, visit moneymindful.com.au. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe. And remember, the information in this podcast is of a general nature only and does not take into account your personal circumstances or goals. Please seek professional advice for your own financial needs. Remember to have fun along the way.